Good morning everyone. This is Kailin Kamikawa. Lie like exhaling. This is a word that accurately expresses the state of the outer road that lie plainly without any confusion. The topic to be taken up this time is I would like to talk about Lee Young-soo, who claims to have been a former Japanese comfort woman. Lee Young-soo, 92, held a press conference on February 16, 2021. He demanded that President Moon Jae-in bring the comfort women issue to the International Court of Justice. On that basis, he listed Japanese evil. She summarizes her claim. 1. The Seoul District Court told the Japanese government on January 8. It was decided that 12 plaintiffs would be ordered to pay 100 million won, about 9.5 million yen, per person. Japan has ignored the ruling, claiming it is a violation of international law. He also lied using Professor J. Mark Ramsire of Harvard University in the United States. There is no way anymore. The Korean government should reveal Japan's crimes under international law. It would be good if the two countries could get close to each other after receiving a fair judgment from the International Court of Justice and completely resolving the matter. 2. At the time of the annexation of Japan and Korea, Korea was a lawless area, and Japanese police officers walked around with their long swords down. If he didn't listen, he stabbed and hit him. 3. I've been screaming the same slogan for 30 years, but nothing has changed. 4. The resolution was passed in the United States, and a monument was erected in San Francisco. I also went to trial. However, Japan is still pretending to be lawless. 5. The Korean court won the case on the comfort women issue, but Japan has ignored it without appealing. Moreover, a Korean court insisted that it violated international law. She is lying with a professor at Harvard University. 6. I'm not asking for money. I want to receive a full certification and apology. 7. I want the Korean government to clarify Japan's crimes under international law. 8. After receiving a fair judgment in the International Court of Justice, I want to solve it completely and spend time with each other without any regrets. 9. For students from both countries, getting to know each other and getting close to each other, you have to study the correct history. 10. President Moon Jae-in also said that a solution that reflects the will of the victim women is important. It's 7 requirements that have been screaming for 30 years: war crime recognition, truth-finding, official apology, legal compensation, criminal punishment, history textbook recording. The most important thing in the construction of the memorial monument and the museum is the recognition of responsibility, and the official apology is what they said. This press conference was held. It is an organization called the Japanese Army Comfort Women Issue ICJ Circulation Promotion Committee. The Promotion Committee, Justice Memory Solidarity Justice Ren, formerly, Korean Council for Justice, which has been campaigning for the comfort women issue, is different. The Promotion Committee includes Kim Yun-young, the representative of Comfort Women Action for Compensation and Education, CARE. Dr. Shin Hee-suk, a law researcher at Yonsei University, representative of Seo Hyuks of the Citizens Association with Comfort Women, who runs the Comfort Women History Museum, etc. Experts and activists who have supported Lee Young-soo's activities, citizen groups in Korea and abroad, and it is made up of international law experts. Nearly 100 press conferences packed into the conference. In addition, live streaming was done on Facebook. About what Lee Young-soo claimed, Mayo Haneda, editor of the Daily Shinsho interview group, described the truth as follows. 1. When Japan annexed South Korea, the total number of military police and general police was 7,712. Of these, 4,440 were Koreans. There are 2019 military police, of which 1012 are Korean military police assistants. That is, more than half were Koreans. The expression, Japanese police officer, is misleading, and in the first place, there is no such thing as a lawless zone. I stabbed him with a sword and hit him, is also a delusion of unknown grounds. 2. I've been screaming the same slogan for 30 years, claiming that nothing has changed. The reason why nothing changes, it is in the Korean government and the Justice Federation, which has developed the comfort women issue as a business. Japan established the Asian Peace Fund in 1995. We also apologized and compensated for the 2015 Japan-Korea agreement. Especially in the 2015 agreement. Yoon Mi-hyung, who was the representative of the Justice Ren, also participated in the talks many times as a coordinator. Yoon Mi-hwa demands money from the Japanese government, while the threat that the former comfort women could not receive money directly from the Japanese government. It was revealed at a press conference held last year by none other than Lee Young-soo himself. 3. He passed a resolution in the United States and built a monument in San Francisco. I also went to trial. However, the claim that Japan is still pretending to be lawless as Mike Honda, the central figure who passed the resolution in the United States, Chinese anti-Japanese organization Global Alliance for Preservation of the History of the Global Alliance for Preservation of Japan, it is clear that he received full support from. In principle, Japan cannot participate in U.S. resolutions in the first place. 4. The Korean court won the case on the comfort women issue, but Japan has ignored it without appealing. Moreover, a Korean court insisted that it violated international law for allegations that he is lying with a professor at Harvard University. The professor announced in his treatise that comfort women equals prostitutes. Women demand short-term contracts to head to the dangerous battlefield. The recruiter guaranteed hospitality, such as giving incentives to women. This is because it is supported by multiple sources. In addition, 30 years have passed since the issue of comfort women was raised. No single document has been found to prove forced entrainment by the government. 5. I'm not asking for money. Claims to receive full accreditation and apology. The Kiichi Miyazawa administration. At the time when the comfort women issue became clear, the Korean government refused to ask the former comfort women for direct interviews and certification by Japan. Former Prime Minister Junichiro Koizumi wrote an apology letter to each of the former comfort women. I gave it with the Asian Women's Fund compensation. It is said that Yoon Mi-hwa persuaded him not to receive it. The Korean side refused to recognize, compensate, or apologize. 6. The claim that the Korean government wants Japan's crimes to be revealed under international law is when the Japanese government announced that it would dispute in the International Court of Justice. The Korean government refused. If you are confident that you can beat the Korean government, you should have already brought it to the International Court of Justice. 7. Get to know each other. For students in both countries, you have to study the correct history while getting close to each other. Korea is conducting history education based on its own interpretation. In the current situation where the Korean Teachers and Education Workers Union is conducting anti-Japanese education, it is a big question whether it is possible for students to receive correct history education. 8. Of the 7 requirements that have been screaming for 30 years, the most important is responsibility, claiming to be an official apology. The Japanese government paid compensation based on the 2015 Japan-Korea agreement, but President Moon Jae-in abandoned the agreement, and in addition, the recognition of responsibility and the official apology made by the Japanese government it was abandoned or rejected by the Korean government and the Justice Federation. It is the Korean government and the Justice Federation that should be blamed. If Lee Young-soo, as a former comfort woman, is aware of what happened in 30 years, she wouldn't have called out to the public at this press conference. At the beginning of the press conference, I silently spoke to the deceased former comfort women. I pray for her soul. Yoon Bok-soo, who died this time, was announced to be 106 years old. Her actual age is known after her death that she was 98 years old. Claims of groups and the Korean government that do not even know the age of the parties accurately. How can you believe it? I don't know if Lee Young-soo, who is said to be 92 years old, is also correct. She continues to smolder, wondering if she really is a former comfort woman. In the first place, the problem regarding the comfort women that Mr. Lee insisted at the press conference was all cases should be resolved in Korea. Even if she brought it to the International Court of Justice, it is unlikely that Japan, which has made an international agreement with the Korean government in principle, will lose the case. The Korean government will never go, just to shame South Korea. Lee Young-soo said that the Korean government will not go to the ICJ 100%. He is just asking you to go to the ICJ to protect yourself. She said, I'm saying the right thing, but the government doesn't go because the government is bad. That's an excuse. It's a typical method of liars. I have to say that everything they say is fake news. What do Koreans think of Lee Young-soo? I definitely want to hear it. Lie like exhaling, the Japanese, and people all over the world, should never forget this word. Don't be fooled by Korean lies. That's all.